Picture this: a lighthouse stands alone on a jagged cliff, battered by relentless storms. Waves crash, winds howl, yet it remains unyielding, its beam cutting through the darkest tempest. You're that lighthouse, aren't you? But how often do you let the storm of your own excuses dim your light? How many times have you surrendered to the comfort of empty words telling yourself, tomorrow, not yet, or I'm not ready? Welcome to the trap of empty words, a seductive cage that promises safety, but delivers stagnation. In this journey of building systems, not excuses, we start by exposing the allure of these hollow justifications and their destructive comfort. You've felt their pull, those whispered lies that keep you anchored in place. But today you stand firm. Today you ignite your inner fire and face the storm head on. Let's tear down the illusions and build something real, something lasting. Are you ready to shine through the chaos? Imagine yourself lacing up sneakers that have gathered dust for months. You've promised yourself a fitness journey, a body forged with strength, a mind sharpened by discipline. The gym bag sits by the door, a silent reminder of your resolve. But the clock ticks and your phone buzzes. Just 5 minutes, you mutter, scrolling through endless feeds, memes, and meaningless updates. 5 minutes turn into 50, and suddenly the day is gone. I don't have time, you sigh, slumping onto the couch. The excuse feels like a soft blanket wrapping you in warmth, but beneath it guilt festers. Your muscles ache not from effort, but from neglect. Your energy drains not from action, but from avoidance. Day after day, the cycle repeats. The phone becomes your refuge, the excuse your shield. Work was exhausting, you say. I'll start Monday. But Monday never comes. The storm of self-deception rages and you let it sweep you away, dimming the light of your potential. What if you had stood firm like that lighthouse on the cliff? What if instead of scrolling, you had taken one step, just one toward the gym? The lesson is clear. Excuses are a storm that obscures your path, but you are the lighthouse. You can endure. You can cut through the chaos with a single choice to act. The takeaway is this: stop hiding behind empty words. Build a system of small, unshakable actions to weather any tempest. Now picture yourself as an aspiring writer, a dreamer with stories burning in your chest. You've got a notebook full of half-formed ideas, a laptop waiting for your touch. You long to craft a tale that moves hearts to see your name on a cover. But every time you sit to write, a voice creeps in. It's not the perfect idea yet. You wait for inspiration to strike like lightning, for the muse to descend in a blaze of clarity. Hours pass, days turn to weeks. You read articles on finding your voice, watch videos on perfect plot structure, but the page stays blank. I'm not ready, you tell yourself, and the excuse feels like a fortress protecting you from failure. Yet deep down you know the truth. That fortress is a prison. The storm of self-doubt roars and you let it drown your voice. What if you had written one messy sentence, one flawed paragraph? What if you had stood like a lighthouse, unwavering against the gale of perfectionism? The lesson shines through the fog. Excuses are the tempest that keeps you from your harbor, but you hold the power to stand tall. As Stephen King once said, amateurs sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Build a system of daily writing, however imperfect, and let it guide you through the storm. The takeaway echoes again. Empty words crumble, but consistent action endures. Let's pause and look deeper. Why do excuses hold such power over you? They are not chains of iron, yet they bind you tighter than any prison. Excuses are a siren song, luring you to the rocks of complacency with promises of rest, of safety. Not today, they whisper, and you nod, relieved to avoid the struggle. But that relief is a poison, slow and subtle, eroding your will. It's the comfort of a warm bed on a cold morning, tempting you to stay curled beneath the covers while the world moves forward without you. How many dreams have you buried beneath the weight of later? How many battles have you lost before even stepping onto the field? Think of the lighthouse enduring storms. It doesn't negotiate with the tempest. It stands resolute, its foundation rooted in purpose. Excuses are your storm, a relentless barrage of doubt and delay, but you are not powerless. Pain, failure, the fear of starting, they are not your enemies. They are the waves that test your strength, the winds that shape your resolve. The destructive comfort of excuses lies in their illusion of protection, but true safety comes from action, from building systems that anchor you against the chaos. You don't need perfect conditions to shine, you need the courage to stand firm. Let that truth be your beacon. The storm will pass, but only if you refuse to dim your light. Dive deeper still. Every excuse you utter is a brick in a wall between you and your potential. Each "I can't" or "I'm too busy" adds height to that barrier until the vision of who you could be is obscured by a fortress of your own making. Consider the cost. Time slips through your fingers like river water, unstoppable, irretrievable. Every moment spent justifying inaction is a moment stolen from your future self. The self who runs marathons, writes novels, builds empires. What are you trading for? The fleeting ease of empty words, your growth, your legacy? Like the lighthouse, you must weather the storm of self-deception. The tempest of excuses roars loudest when you're closest to a breakthrough, when the shore of achievement is just beyond the next wave. It's no coincidence that doubt strikes hardest at the edge of progress. But remember this, the lighthouse doesn't move, it endures. Its light isn't dimmed by the storm's fury, it's amplified. So stand tall. Let the excuses crash against you and break. Build systems, not walls. Anchor yourself in routines that defy the gale. 10 minutes of exercise, 1 paragraph a day. These are your beams of light cutting through the darkness. Are you willing to pay the price of inaction, or will you rise above the storm? Now let's forge a path forward. When the storm of excuses looms, don't let it sweep you away. Pause. Take a breath before you surrender to "I don't have time" or "I'm not ready." Ask yourself one piercing question. What's the smallest step I can take right now? If it's fitness, put on your shoes and walk for 5 minutes. If it's writing, type 1 sentence. No matter how rough, that single action is your lighthouse beam piercing the fog of delay. Create a trigger, a simple cue to snap you out of hesitation. Set a timer for 5 minutes each morning to start your task. Tie it to a habit you already have, like brushing your teeth or brewing coffee. When the timer dings, move. Don't think, don't debate, just act. As James Clear advises in Atomic Habits, make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. Stack your small wins. 5 minutes today becomes 10 tomorrow. 1 sentence grows into a page. These microsystems are your foundation, unyielding against the storm of empty words. You're not building perfection, you're building momentum. Start now, stand firm. Here's another tool to wield. When excuses arise, don't let them hide in the shadows of your mind. Name them, call them out, write down the justification that's holding you back. "I'm too tired to work out," or "I don't have the perfect idea to write." Seeing it on paper strips it of its power, like exposing a storm's bluster under the harsh light of day. Then counter it. Write one reason why you can act. "I'll feel energized after a quick walk," or "A rough draft is better than no draft." Keep this list close, review it daily. Build a system of accountability, a journal, a friend, a reminder on your phone, as Mel Robbins teaches in the 5-second rule. If you have an instinct to act on a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds, or your brain will kill it. Count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. This is your lighthouse, standing firm against the tempest of self-deception. Don't let excuses drown your resolve. Name them, challenge them, and act before they take root. Your system of honesty and immediacy will guide you through any storm. You've walked through the trap of empty words, felt the seductive pull of excuses, and seen their destructive comfort for what it is, a storm that dims your light. You've witnessed the fitness dreamer lost in endless scrolling, the writer paralyzed by a phantom perfection, and you've unearthed the cost of hollow justifications. But you've also learned to stand like a lighthouse, enduring the tempest of self-deception with unyielding resolve. The takeaway burns bright. Stop hiding behind empty words. Build a system of small, unshakable actions to weather any storm. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the architect of your future. Forge systems, not excuses. Let each choice, each step be a beam of light piercing the chaos. As we move forward, prepare to dive deeper into the art of crafting those systems, of turning fleeting resolve into enduring strength. For now, hold this truth close. Let it anchor you when the storm rages. Stand firm. Your light will guide you through. Picture a wild river, untamed and ferocious, crashing through a rugged valley. Its power is raw, chaotic, a force of nature that carves its own reckless path. Now imagine a dam, sturdy, deliberate, unyielding, rising to meet that river. It doesn't fight the current. It channels it, transforming reckless energy into purposeful strength, lighting homes, irrigating fields, sustaining life. You right now are that river. Your potential surges within you, but without structure, it spills everywhere, wasted. Chaos reigns. How long will you let your energy scatter before you build the dam that shapes your destiny? Welcome to the foundation of order, the cornerstone of a life built on systems, not excuses. In a world that tempts you with shortcuts and instant gratification, disorder is your silent enemy. It creeps into your days, unraveling your focus, drowning your dreams in a flood of distractions. But here's the truth: systems are your dam. They harness the raw force of your will and direct it toward greatness. This is not about rigid rules. It's about creating a framework that frees you to soar. Let's walk this path together and uncover why order is not a cage, but the key to unlocking your boundless power. Imagine yourself as a freelancer, a creative soul with a gift for design. Your talent is undeniable, clients rave when you deliver, but your income a roller coaster. One month you're flush with projects, the next you're scraping by refreshing your inbox for a reply that never comes. The chaos of inconsistency gnaws at you. Deadlines slip through your fingers like water. You're a river in full flood, powerful but directionless, eroding your own banks with every missed opportunity. You tell yourself, I'll hustle harder tomorrow, but tomorrow brings the same frantic scramble. Excuses pile up, too tired, too busy, too overwhelmed. The truth stings, you've built nothing to hold your energy in place. Then a breaking point. A big client cancels and you're left staring at a dwindling bank account. You pause, you breathe, you decide no more. You sit down and craft a system, a daily schedule, as unyielding as a dam. Every morning from 8 to 9, you send outreach emails to 10 potential clients. From 9 to 12, you work on active projects. Afternoons are for learning new skills to stay sharp. You stick to it even when rejection stings, even when silence greets your efforts. Slowly, the river of your talent finds its channel. Clients trickle in, then pour. Your income stabilizes. You're no longer at the mercy of chaos. You've harnessed your energy into purposeful strength. The lesson hits hard: systems don't limit your creativity, they amplify it. They turn your wild current into a force that powers your life. Now picture yourself as a student drowning in a storm of failed exams. Each test is a wave crashing over you, dragging your confidence under. You study sporadically, cramming the night before, fueled by energy drinks and desperation. Your grades reflect the chaos, barely passing, sometimes not even that. You mutter excuses, I'm not good at this, or I didn't have time. But deep down, you know the truth. Your effort is a river with no boundaries, spilling everywhere, but where it matters. Friends see your potential, but you're too caught in the torrent of disorder to believe them. Failure becomes a familiar ache. One day after another dismal report card, you hit rock bottom. You sit alone staring at red ink, and something shifts. You refuse to sink. You build a dam, a strict study routine. Every evening from 6 to 8, you review notes. Weekends, you tackle practice questions. You turn off notifications, silencing the distractions that once swept you away. At first, it's grueling. Your mind wanders, but you persist. Weeks turn to months, and the river of your focus finds its path. Your grades climb. Confidence surges. You realize chaos wasn't your fate, it was your choice. By building a system, you've channeled your scattered energy into a steady, unstoppable force. The dam holds. You thrive. Step back for a moment and look at your life. How often have you felt like a river and flood your energy roaring? But aimless chaos is seductive. It feels like freedom. No rules, no boundaries, just pure, unfiltered action. But where does it lead? To exhaustion, to frustration, to dreams washed away in the current of distraction. Systems are not chains. They are the dam that saves you from drowning in your own potential. They take the raw, wild force within you and shape it into something that builds, sustains, and endures. Think about it. How many opportunities have slipped through your fingers? because you lacked a framework to hold them. Consider a towering oak, its roots deep in the earth. Without structure, a seed is just a speck blown by the wind. But with time, with order, it becomes unshakable. You are that seed brimming with possibility. Chaos scatters you. Systems root you. They give your days purpose, turning fleeting bursts of effort into lasting impact. As Jim Rohn once said, success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. Build your dam. Channel your river. Let order be the foundation that lifts you to heights you've only imagined. Let's go deeper. Why do we resist systems? Because they demand discipline, and discipline feels like a burden. But here's the paradox. True freedom lies on the other side of structure. Without a dam, a river destroys everything in its path. Villages, fields, lives. With a dam, it becomes a source of life, a creator of abundance. Your mind, your time, your energy, they are no different. Untamed, they wreak havoc. Harnessed, they forge empires. Have you ever considered how much power you lose to the chaos of indecision, to the endless cycle of excuses? Think of a blacksmith shaping molten steel. Without the hammer's steady rhythm, the metal cools into useless lumps. With it, a blade emerges, sharp, strong, purposeful. Systems are your hammer. They strike with intention, molding your raw potential into something extraordinary. Chaos tells you to wait for inspiration, to act only when you feel ready. But inspiration is a fickle guest. Systems are the host that welcomes progress every day. Embrace them. Let them guide your river's flow until it carves canyons of achievement through the landscape of your life. When chaos looms and it will, don't flinch. Build your first dam with small, deliberate steps. Start by identifying one area of your life where disorder reigns. Is it your time, your finances, your health? Pick one. Then create a simple system to channel your energy. If time slips away, set a daily schedule block out an hour for your most important task, no exceptions. Use a timer if you must. Stick to it for a week, even when resistance screams. Notice the shift. Your river begins to flow with purpose. Write down your system. Make it visible, a note on your desk, a reminder on your phone. Tell yourself this is non-negotiable. When excuses creep in, and they will pause. Ask, am I choosing chaos over control? Then act. As James Clear advises in Atomic Habits, you don't have to be the victim of your environment. You can also be the architect of it. One small system repeated daily becomes the foundation of order. Start now. Harness your current. Build. Once your first dam is in place, strengthen it. Chaos is relentless. It tests your resolve with distractions and doubts. Add layers to your system. If you've scheduled an hour for work, pair it with a ritual, perhaps a cup of tea to signal focus, or a specific playlist to anchor your mind. Track your progress. Mark each day you follow through on a calendar. Seeing the streak grow fuels your fire. When you falter, don't crumble. Rebuild. Ask what pulled me off course. Adjust, then return. Remember, systems evolve. If your schedule feels too rigid, tweak it. The dam isn't there to crush your spirit, it's there to guide your strength. As Stephen Covey wrote in The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. Keep your purpose at the core, reinforce your structure daily, let it stand firm against the flood of excuses, turning your energy into a force that reshapes your world. Before we close, let's reflect one last time. A river without a dam leaves no legacy. It floods, it fades, it's forgotten. But a river guided by structure transforms a land forever. It powers cities, nourishes generations, becomes a lifeline etched into history. What will your legacy be? Will you let chaos sweep away your potential? Or will you build systems that endure? Every choice, every day is a brick in your dam. Lay them with intention. Systems are not about perfection. They're about progress. They're the quiet promise you make to yourself, I will not be swayed by the storm. I will channel my strength. I will create. Look at your life now. Where can you begin? How can you turn the wild rush of your energy into a steady, purposeful flow? As we build this foundation of order, know this: the river within you is mighty. Give it direction and it will carve wonders. We've journeyed through the heart of chaos and emerged with the truth systems are your dam, the structure that transforms your raw, untamed energy into purposeful strength. From the freelancer who tamed inconsistency with a daily schedule, to the student who turned failure into triumph with a study routine, we've seen how order counters the flood of excuses. The key lesson rings: clear building systems is not a burden, but a liberation. It frees you from the tyranny of disorder, letting your potential shine as a steady, unstoppable force. As you stand at this crossroads, remember that chaos will always lurk, ready to sweep you off course. But you have the power to build, to channel, to endure. Lay the foundation of order today, brick by brick, and watch how it reshapes your life. Let the river of your will flow with purpose. We move forward now, ready to explore how these systems grow, how they sustain us through storms yet to come. Until then, hold this truth close and let it guide every step. Final mantra: build your dam. Channel your strength, create your legacy. Picture a blacksmith's forge, the air thick with heat, the clang of hammer on steel echoing like a heartbeat. You stand there raw, will in your hands, an unshaped lump of potential. The fire roars, waiting to test you. Will you shape your life into something unbreakable, or let it remain formless, lost to excuses? This is your moment. In the heat of life's challenges, you must forge your framework systems that transform chaos into order, weakness into strength. This section. Forging your framework isn't about fleeting motivation or hollow promises. It's about crafting practical steps to design and implement personal systems that stand firm against the storms of distraction and doubt. You're not just surviving, you're building. You're tempering your resolve into habits that endure. So grip the hammer. Feel the weight of your choices. Let's shape a life that no excuse can shatter. Imagine you're a parent juggling a whirlwind of responsibilities. Mornings are a blur. Kids screaming for breakfast lunches, half-packed, your coffee cold before the first sip. By evening, you're drained, ordering takeout again because there's no time to cook. Stress gnaws at you. Guilt whispers that you're failing. You've tried to plan meals before, but life always derails you. Excuses pile up. I'm too busy, I'll start next week. But deep down, you know this chaos isn't sustainable. You crave control, a way to reclaim your time. One Sunday, you decide enough is enough. You sit down, pen in hand, and map out a weekly meal prep system. It's not glamorous, chopping vegetables, batch cooking chicken, labeling containers, but it's deliberate. You carve out 3 hours turning raw ingredients into ready meals. Monday arrives, and instead of scrambling, you pull a prepped dinner from the fridge. The kids eat, you breathe, and for the first time in weeks, there's space for a quiet moment. That first week isn't perfect. You forget a recipe, underestimate portions, but you adjust, you refine. By the third week, this system is a rhythm, a shield against the chaos. This is the blacksmith's work. You took the raw mess of your days and hammered it into structure. Each chop, each container, was a strike on the anvil, tempering your will into an unbreakable habit. The lesson here: Burns' bright systems don't demand perfection. They demand persistence. Like steel, your life strengthens through heat and repetition. The takeaway isn't just about meals, it's about reclaiming your power. When you build a framework, excuses lose their grip. You're not a victim of time, you're its architect. Now picture yourself as an entrepreneur, burning with a vision to build something monumental. Your laptop is a battlefield of ideas, emails, deadlines, pitches, but your focus scatters like ash in the wind. You miss follow-ups, forget tasks, and watch opportunities slip through your fingers. The dream feels heavy. Excuses creep in. I'm not organized enough. I'll figure it out later. But later never comes, does it? Doubt festers, and you wonder if you're cut out for this. Then one sleepless night, you decide to fight back. You download a task management app, set automated reminders, and create trackers for your goals. It feels mundane, inputting deadlines, color-coding priorities, but it's a start. Each morning, your phone pings, follow up with client. Each evening, it prompts, review progress. At first, you resist. The system feels like a leash, but slowly you see the shift. A client signs on because you didn't forget the call. A project launches on time because you tracked every step. Weeks turn to months, and your scattered mind forges into a machine of focus. You're not just dreaming now, you're executing. Here lies the blacksmith's truth. You took the raw chaos of ambition and hammered it into a system as strong as tempered steel. Each reminder, each checkmark was a blow that shaped your discipline. As James Clear writes in Atomic Habits, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. The lesson is undeniable. A framework isn't a burden, it's a blade. It cuts through excuses, sharpens your edge. The takeaway resonates, builds systems, and your vision becomes inevitable. Step back for a moment. Look at your life through the haze of the forge. What are systems really? They're not just schedules or apps. They're the fire of intention made solid. Without them, your will is a fleeting spark, bright for a moment, then gone. With them, it's steel forged through heat and pressure, capable of cutting through any obstacle. Think about it. How many times have you let a burst of motivation fade because you had no structure to hold it? How many promises to yourself have rusted away in the rain of distraction? Systems are your anvil. They ground you when life's hammer falls. Like a blacksmith tempering steel, you must craft habits with purpose, each step deliberate, each strike intentional. A meal prep plan isn't just about food, it's about teaching yourself that you can master time. A reminder app isn't just a tool, it's a commitment to your future self. The heat of effort burns away excuses, leaving only what's strong. You're not building for today, you're forging for a lifetime. So ask yourself, what framework are you crafting right now? What raw will are you ready to shape? Feel the weight of the hammer in your hands. It's heavy, isn't it? Building systems isn't light work. It demands sweat, patience, and a willingness to strike even when you're weary. But here's a truth as old as the forge. The heavier the hammer, the stronger the steel. Every system you create, whether it's a morning routine or a financial tracker, carries the weight of resistance. Your mind will fight it. Old habits will cling like rust. Excuses will howl like a storm outside the forge. Yet you must swing anyway. Consider the blacksmith. He doesn't wait for the perfect moment to strike. He doesn't stop when the metal resists. He knows that strength comes from persistence, not ease. So it is with you. A system isn't born in a day. It's hammered out through weeks of showing up even when you falter. Napoleon Hill once said, in Think and Grow Rich, strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. Your framework is your struggle made visible. What weight are you willing to lift today? What excuse are you ready to shatter with the next blow? Let's get to the forge floor. Building systems doesn't mean overhauling your life overnight. It means starting with the smallest strike, one habit, one routine, one choice. Want to reclaim time like the parent in our story? Begin with a single meal prep session. Pick one day, plan 3 meals, and execute. Done, reflect. What worked, what didn't, adjust then, repeat next week. The key is consistency, not scale. A single strike on the anvil begins the shaping of steel. Here's your step. Identify one area of chaos in your life. Time, finances, health. Pick one action to systemize. Write it down. Set a specific time to do it. Use a tool if needed, a calendar, an app, a sticky note. Then act. When doubt creeps in, pause. Remind yourself this strike matters. As Brian Tracy advises in Eat That Frog, the hardest part of any important task is getting started on it in the first place. So start. One blow. That's how steel is born. That's how excuses die. Now let's sharpen your process. A blacksmith doesn't forge alone. He uses tools to amplify his strength. You must do the same. Automation is your anvil holding the steel steady while you strike. Want focus like the entrepreneur. Set up digital reminders for your top 3 daily tasks. Use apps to track progress, whether it's steps toward a goal or money saved. Automate bill payments to free mental space. These aren't luxuries, they're necessities. Try this list: 3 repetitive tasks that drain your energy. Research one tool or method to automate each. Set it up this week. Test it for 7 days. If it fails, tweak it. If it works, build on it. Automation isn't about laziness. It's about efficiency. It's about ensuring your energy fuels creation, not chaos. When life heats up, your system holds. Strike smarter, not harder. Let technology temper your will into unbreakable focus. Finally, stand back and see the unseen. The beauty of tempered steel isn't just in its shine, it's in the strength. You can't see the countless strikes it endured to become unbreakable. So it is with your systems. The world may not notice your meal prep containers or your automated reminders. They won't applaud your quiet mornings of planning, but you'll feel it. You'll know the power of a life forged with intention, where excuses no longer bend you. Systems are silent warriors. They guard your time, your focus, your dreams. They're the hidden fire that keeps you steady when life's winds howl. Like a blacksmith who trusts the process, you must trust yours. Each small system builds a greater framework, a life of resilience. So ask yourself, what unseen strength are you forging today? What quiet victories are shaping your future? You've stood in the forge of your own making hammer in hand sweat on your brow. You've seen how a busy parent turned chaos into calm with a simple meal prep system, how an entrepreneur carved focus from distraction with automated tools. You've felt the fire of intention, the weight of persistence, and the unseen strength of habits tempered over time. The takeaway of forging your framework is clear systems are your steel forged from raw will into unbreakable structures. They're not just tools, they're your defiance against excuses, your declaration that you will build, not break. As we move forward, remember that this forge is always within you. The heat of challenge will return, but so will your power to shape it. Keep striking, keep tempering, keep crafting a life that endures. The next step awaits a deeper dive into sustaining what you've built. Until then, hold this truth close. Final mantra: strike with purpose. Your steel is forming. Picture a mountain, ancient and unyielding, standing tall against the endless howl of the wind. Day after day, the gusts carve into its stone, relentless and fierce, yet the mountain does not crumble. Instead, it transforms its jagged edges, smoothed its form, refined into something even stronger, a monument to endurance. You are that mountain. Life's storms, setbacks, failures, doubts strike without mercy. Will you shatter, or will you let the grind sculpt you into a masterpiece? Welcome to the heart of your journey and build systems, not excuses. Here in Enduring the Grind, we face the raw truth of navigating setbacks and maintaining systems under pressure. It's not about avoiding the wind. It's about standing firm, letting it shape you while you hold fast to the structures you've built. You've crafted systems, your daily habits, your plans, your vision, but now the test comes. Can you endure when the world pushes back? Feel the weight of that question. Let it ignite a fire in you. Because this is where resilience is born, where challenges become the tools that forge your strength. Imagine you've poured everything into a small business, a cozy bakery on a quiet street corner. You've built a system, consistent marketing through social media, weekly promotions, and customer outreach. It's not flashy, but it's yours, a rhythm you trust. Then the storm hits. A financial slump. Bills pile up like snowdrifts, and customers dwindle as the economy tightens. You check your accounts and see red. Doubt creeps in like a thief. Why bother with posts no one sees? It whispers. Shut down. Save yourself the pain. Your hands tremble as you stare at your empty shop. You could abandon your system, cut corners, or give up entirely. But you don't. You remember the mountain carved by wind. You post that daily update even if it feels futile. You send out emails with a new discount, though your inbox stays silent. You tweak your ads, analyze what's working, and double down on your system even as the pressure mounts. Weeks pass. The grind is brutal. Then a spark, a viral post catches attention. A local influencer shares your story. Customers trickle back, then flood in. Your system, battered but unbroken, pulls you through. The slump didn't define you, your resilience did. What's the lesson here? Setbacks are not stop signs. They're the wind that tests your foundation. Like the mountain, you endure the grind, letting it refine your edges while holding to your system. The takeaway echoes clear: enduring the grind with unwavering commitment to your system turns pressure into power. Now picture yourself as an athlete, a runner training for a marathon. Your system is sacred: early mornings, strict diets, miles logged no matter the weather. You're on track, your body a machine of precision. Then disaster strikes. An injury, a twisted ankle during a routine run. Pain shoots through you and the doctor's words cut deeper. No running for 6 weeks. Your goal, that finish line, slips through your fingers. Frustration burns. Why keep training if I can't race, you mutter? Excuses beckon like quicksand: rest, quit, start over later. Yet you pause. You breathe. You're the mountain, and this injury is just another gust. You adapt your system instead of abandoning it. Running is out, so you pivot to strength training, focusing on core and upper body. You study recovery techniques, integrate physical therapy, and visualize every step of that future race. The grind isn't glamorous hours of slow stretches, ice packs, and patience, but you stick to it. 6 weeks later, you lace up again. Not only do you return, but you're stronger, your form sharper, your mind tougher. The injury didn't break you, it carved you into something greater. The truth shines through. Systems aren't just for the easy days, they're your anchor in the storm. Like the mountain standing against the wind, you endure the grind, adapting without losing momentum, proving that resilience transforms setbacks into strength. Let's sit with this for a moment. Why do setbacks feel so personal, so punishing? Why does the financial slump or the injury seem like a verdict on your worth? It's because we've been taught to see challenges as enemies, as proof of failure. But what if they're not? What if the wind tearing at the mountain isn't destruction, but design? Every gust, every hardship is a teacher chiseling away what's weak, revealing the unshakable core beneath. You're not being broken, you're being built. Think of life's pressures as a sculptor's hand. They hurt, yes. They test your limits, absolutely. But they also shape you into something enduring, something refined. When the slump hits, when the injury sidelines you, it's not a signal to abandon your systems. It's a call to trust them deeper. Your marketing plan, your training routine. They're not just tasks, they're the stone of your mountain. Hold fast. Let the wind do its work. How many times have you walked away just before the storm passed? How many victories have you missed by mistaking pressure for defeat? Resilience isn't the absence of struggle, it's the choice to stand firm amid it. You don't control the wind, but you control how you face it. Endure the grind and watch as challenges become the very force that elevates you. Consider this: a mountain doesn't survive the wind by chance. It stands because of its depth, its roots, its unyielding structure. Your systems are that structure. They're not mere to-do lists or schedules. They're your shelter against life's chaos. When pressure mounts, when setbacks strike like lightning, it's easy to scatter, to let excuses take the wheel. I'll rebuild later, you tell yourself. But later becomes never. The storm doesn't wait for your permission to strike. So why should your resolve? Your systems, be it a daily habit, a business plan, or a recovery routine, are your defiance against the tempest. They're the proof that you're not a leaf blown by every breeze, but a mountain rooted in purpose. Napoleon Hill once said, "Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle." The grind isn't a detour, it's the path. Every time you stick to your system under pressure, you carve a new layer of strength into your being. Have you ever considered how much power lies in simply showing up even when it hurts? That's where transformation lives. Endure the grind not as a burden, but as the forge of your greatness. When setbacks hit, the first casualty is often your focus. Doubt clouds your mind and excuses feel like relief. Don't let them win. Here's how to endure the grind with your systems intact. First, pause. Take a breath before reacting. Ask yourself, is this the moment I give up or the moment I grow? Write down one reason to keep going: a customer who believed in you, a personal goal that still burns. Let that reason be your anchor. Next, revisit your system. Break it into smaller, unshakable steps. If you're a business owner facing a slump, commit to one marketing task today. Post an update, email a client. If you're sidelined by injury, focus on one recovery action stretch for 10 minutes. Log your progress. Small wins stack up. They remind you that pressure doesn't erase progress. It tests it. Finally, track your consistency, not your results. Mark each day you stick to your system. That mark is your victory, proof you're still the mountain, still standing against the wind. Endure the grind with these steps, and you'll find strength you didn't know you had. Pressure demands flexibility, but not surrender. When life throws a curveball, adapt your system without abandoning it. Start by assessing the obstacle. What's the real barrier? A financial dip, a physical setback. Name it, then ask, how can my system evolve to meet this challenge? If your business is struggling, shift your marketing focus, test a new platform or audience while maintaining your posting rhythm. If injury halts your training, pivot to mental preparation or alternative exercises, keeping your daily commitment alive. Document this adaptation. Write down what you're changing and why. This isn't just record keeping. It's a reminder that you're in control, sculpting your path even as the wind howls. Finally, set a check-in point. Say 1 week or 1 month to evaluate. Are you closer to your goal? Adjust again if needed, but never stop. As Jim Rohn wisely noted, success is neither magical nor mysterious. Success is the natural consequence of consistently applying basic fundamentals. Endure the grind by bending, not breaking, and your systems will carry you through any storm. Let's close this circle with a final truth. A mountain carved by wind isn't just resilient, it's breathtaking. Its scars tell a story of endurance, of battles won through sheer will. You too are crafting a story with every setback you face, every pressure you endure. The financial slumps, the injuries, the sleepless nights, they're not flaws in your journey. They're the strokes that define your masterpiece. Why do we fear the grind when it's the very thing that makes us unforgettable? Your systems are your promise to yourself, a vow that no storm will topple you. They're the daily acts of courage that say, I will not be moved. Brian Tracy once reminded us, you have within you right now everything you need to deal with whatever the world can throw at you. Believe that. Let the wind howl. Let the challenges come. Stand as the mountain refined by every gust, knowing that enduring the grind isn't just survival, it's the art of becoming unstoppable. As we step back from the edge of the storm, let's gather the lessons of enduring the grind. You've seen how a small business owner weathered a financial slump by clinging to their marketing system, how an athlete turned injury into strength by adapting their training. You felt the wind as a teacher, not a tyrant, carving resilience into your core. The takeaway burns bright. Enduring the grind with unwavering commitment to your system turns pressure into power. It's not about avoiding setbacks. It's about navigating them with unyielding resolve, letting challenges refine you as they strike. You're the mountain sculpted by every hardship, standing taller for every storm you faced. Hold fast to your systems. Let them be your roots when the ground shakes. As we move forward, prepare to explore how these systems scale, how they build not just survival, but triumph. For now, carry this truth with you, a beacon in any tempest. Stand firm. The wind only makes you stronger. Picture yourself standing in a vast untamed field under a golden dawn. Once this land was a chaotic tangle of weeds and wild growth, mirroring the disorder of your own life. But now you hold a handful of seeds, each one a promise of abundance, ready to be planted in neat, deliberate rows. This is no accident. This is the harvest of discipline, a testament to the systems you've built brick by brick, day by day, over the seductive whispers of excuses. You've transformed barren ground into a garden of potential, and the fruits of your labor are finally within reach. Welcome to a celebration of transformation, a tribute to the long-term rewards that come when you choose structure over chaos, action over avoidance. In the grand journey of building systems, not excuses, this moment is your triumph. Feel the weight of your progress. Sense the clarity that comes from knowing every step was intentional. You've earned this harvest, and it's time to revel in what you've sown. Let's walk through this garden together, marvel at the rows of orderly effort, and uncover the lessons that will sustain you for seasons to come. Imagine yourself a year ago drowning in a sea of unfinished tasks and unkept promises. Your desk was a battlefield of scattered papers, your mind a storm of half-formed ideas. Deadlines slipped through your fingers like sand, and every missed opportunity carved a deeper wound of regret. I'll do it tomorrow, you'd mutter, as if tomorrow held some magical cure for your disarray. But tomorrow never came, only more excuses piled up like fallen leaves. You were that once disorganized individual, lost in a maze of your own making, unsure if clarity was even possible. Then something shifted. One day you paused. You looked at the chaos and decided no more. Inspired by the image of a gardener planting seeds in precise rows, you began to build systems. You started small, a simple to-do list each morning, a dedicated hour for deep work, a weekly review to track progress. At first it felt tedious, like tilling hard, unyielding soil. Doubts crept in. Is this worth it, you wondered? But you pressed on, planting each seed of habit with intention. You didn't just react to life, you designed it. You set boundaries for distractions, carved out time for what mattered, and slowly the rows of your efforts took shape. Now stand in the present. Look around. Your desk is a sanctuary of order. Your goals no longer distant dreams, but tangible milestones crossed off with pride. You've completed projects that once seemed impossible. Your mind is a clear sky unclouded by the fog of procrastination. A year of consistent systems has transformed you into someone who lives with purpose and clarity. Like a gardener surveying a thriving field, you see the abundance born from orderly effort. The lesson is vivid discipline, not desire, yields results. Each small system you built was a seed, and now you reap a harvest of achievement that excuses could never grow. Now picture another version of yourself, a dreamer, with a heart full of grand visions, but feet stuck in the mud of inaction. You wanted to write a book, start a business, or run a marathon? Your mind buzzed with ideas, but your days slipped away in endless scrolling in just one more episode in the comforting lie of, I'm not ready yet. Procrastination was your shadow whispering that starting tomorrow would be easier. You buried your dreams under layers of excuses, each one heavier than the last until they felt unreachable. But then you woke up. You realized that dreams don't bloom from wishes, they grow from systems. Inspired by the gardener's patience, you decided to plant your own seeds of progress. You broke your towering goals into tiny, manageable steps. Instead of writing a book, you committed to 200 words a day. Instead of launching a business overnight, you spent 30 minutes each evening researching. Instead of running a marathon, you laced up your shoes for a single mile. These were your seeds planted in neat rows of routine. Some days the soil of your resolve felt rocky, distractions tempted you. Fatigue weighed you down, but you kept tending to your garden. You didn't wait for inspiration, you built it through repetition. Today you stand proud. That book is half-written chapters stacking up like ripe fruit. That business idea has taken root with a small but growing clientele. That marathon, you've crossed the finish line of a 5K with more races ahead. You've built a life of purpose through small, systematic steps. As Stephen Covey once said, the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. You scheduled your dreams row by row, and now you harvest a life of meaning. The gardener's lesson shines through orderly effort, not fleeting passion, turns visions into victories. Let's step back and reflect on what this harvest truly means. Building systems over excuses isn't just about checking boxes or hitting goals, it's about transforming who you are. Think of yourself as that gardener standing in a field once overrun with weeds. Every excuse you've ever made was a thorn choking the life from your potential. I don't have time, I'm not good enough, I'll fail. These were the brambles you had to clear before you could even plant a single seed. And clearing them hurt. It demanded sweat, patience, and a willingness to face the mess you'd let grow. How many times did you want to give up? How often did you stare at the barren ground and wonder if abundance was just a myth? Yet here's the timeless true struggle is the soil of growth. Systems aren't built in comfort, they're forged in the heat of resistance. Every time you chose to stick to your routine, waking early, saying no to distractions, pushing through doubt, you were enriching that soil. You weren't just planting seeds, you were planting resilience. As Jim Rohn wisely noted, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. That bridge is built one plank at a time, one system at a time until you cross over into a life of abundance. The gardener knows this orderly effort isn't a burden, it's a gift. It turns chaos into clarity, dreams into deeds, and pain into power. So embrace the struggle. It's the very ground from which your harvest rises. Consider the gardener once more. When you plant a seed, you don't see a sprout the next day. You don't dig up the earth in frustration, demanding instant results. You water it, you protect it, and you wait. Building systems is no different. It's a quiet act of faith, a belief that small, consistent actions will bloom into something extraordinary, even when the evidence is buried beneath the surface. How many dreams have you abandoned because the harvest took too long? How often have you traded long-term rewards for short-term relief? This is the essence of disciplined patience woven into every row you plant. Systems are your commitment to the unseen. They're the daily rituals, writing one page, saving $1, taking one step that feel insignificant in the moment, but compound into mountains of achievement. Like a river carving through stone, Their power lies in persistence, not force. The gardener doesn't rush the seasons. Neither should you rush your progress. Trust the process. Celebrate the act of planting as much as the harvest itself, for each seed sown is a victory over excuses. Your systems are your roots, anchoring you through storms of doubt until the day you stand in a field of abundance, awestruck by what patience and order can create. Now let's turn philosophy into action. If you want to celebrate the transformation of systems, start by tending your garden every day. Begin with a simple framework. Identify one area of your life craving order: your time, your health, your work. Break it into a single repeatable action. If it's time, commit to a 10-minute morning plan where you list 3 priorities. If it's health, pledge to walk 2,000 steps before lunch. If it's work, block 30 minutes for focused effort without interruptions. This is your seed. Plant it daily, no matter how small it seems. When excuses whisper, "I'm too tired, I'll do it later," pause. Picture that gardener, hands in the dirt, unmoved by fleeting moods. Remind yourself, systems aren't built on feelings, they're built on decisions. Write down one reason this action matters to your long-term vision. Let that reason be your water nourishing your resolve. Track your consistency, not your perfection. A missed day isn't failure, it's a call to replant. Over weeks, these tiny seeds will sprout into habits, and you'll see the rows of your efforts stretching toward a harvest of clarity and achievement. Start now. Your garden awaits. Here's another step to sustain your harvest: protect your rows from invaders. Just as a gardener guards against pests and storms, you must shield your systems from distractions and self-doubt. Identify what threatens your progress: endless notifications, toxic comparisons, or the lure of instant gratification. Build barriers. Turn off your phone during deep work. Limit social media to a designated window. Surround yourself with people who support your growth, not sabotage it. When doubt creeps in, whispering that your systems aren't working fast enough, stand firm. Ask yourself, am I tending to my rows, or am I uprooting them with impatience? Reflect on one small win from your efforts, a completed task, a clearer mind, and let it be your shield. As Brian Tracy once said, successful people are simply those with successful habits. Protect your habits as fiercely as a gardener defends a budding crop. Reinforce your systems with boundaries and watch your field of discipline grow unyielding against any storm. Take this step today. Guard your harvest with unwavering resolve. As we stand together in this garden of your making, let's gather the insights of this journey. You've seen the transformation, how a once disorganized soul found clarity through consistent systems, how a dreamer turned procrastination into purpose with small, deliberate steps. You've reflected on the soil of struggle and the patience of planting, understanding that discipline, not desire, yields abundance. You've armed yourself with practical tools to tend your daily garden and protect your rows from invaders. The key lesson shines like the sun over this field. The harvest of discipline is the ultimate reward, a life of clarity and achievement, built through systems, not excuses. This is your moment to revel in the fruits of your labor, to feel the weight of every seed you've sown. But the journey doesn't end here. As you prepare to step into new seasons of growth, carry this truth forward. Orderly effort always blooms into abundance. Keep planting, keep tending, keep trusting the process. Your next harvest awaits just beyond the horizon. Final mantra: plant your rows. Your abundance is inevitable.